Yep, Angelica is our fail girl of the show. Angelica's turning into our fail girl. I guess I should have got the impression of that with her comments about what courses she's taken. I just don't want to do lessons. I don't want to learn things. She just wants to swing her sword. Yep, she's going to be the fail girl. But yes, Ascendance of Bookworm is back. Thank goodness. Like last week, I was actually very swarmed because Mushoku Tensei had its like premiere, and it was a 2-episode premiere, and it was early premiere, and I completely put Ascendance of Bookworm on the back burner. And then I came around to actually go watch it, and I'm like, oh, it's not even airing today. Thank God. Thank God it's not airing today, because my schedule right now is like super swamped. But I'm still happy to sit back. I was like kind of needing it. I need my weekly Myne fix right now. And sure enough, we have this episode, and pretty solid episode all around. I think the quality kind of came up quite a bit. I don't know if maybe potentially this was like an episode they want to put a lot of attention to, or maybe their schedule's a little bit better in this point right here, and they're getting some better animation here. Either way, it looked really, really good. I mean, it's not like incredible. Again, it's not like Wit Studio, like Attack on Titan levels here or anything like that, but it was still visually overall a really good episode. And it feels like we're kind of like finally ramping things up. It seems like it's kind of alluding to, again, developing Myne's little group that she's going to be going to the academy with. But still a lot of setup here, of course. But yes, let's get in the episode proper, like I typically do, go scene by scene. And yes, opening up the episode with, seems like Wilfred's doing a little bit better. He's actually beating people at the card game. So that's a really good sign. This boy is actually getting smart. I mean, technically it is a debut and everything like that, so it seems like everything's going well for him. But yeah, like this little moment where Ryosu's like, yeah, I'm going to this whole ceremony, the dedication ceremony. He's like, yes, I get to get some crunch time before she gets back. We're gonna get ahead, guys. Let's do this. Again, it's the competition thing. Wilfred himself is being driven by competition. And again, I think that's a really good thing to have, is this element of, similar to what Sylvester and Ferdinand had, this sense of competition that will ultimately drive Wilfred to be a better person. He has something like sort of an individual that he's kind of shooting for, which is helping him grow more. So it's really cool. But yes, we do the whole dedication ceremony. We have, apparently at some point, Myne had to imbue the Lidenschaft, I'm sorry, I'm butchering, Lidenschaft spear. The Lidenschaft spear with mana, to be a divine instrument, a weapon for her to use in the coming battle against the Lord of Winters. Which the Lord of Winters thing is kind of interesting. I'm assuming what they're implying here is that potentially during the winter season, there is a buildup of mana of some sort that is causing more of the creatures to sort of multiply and get bigger and stronger. Again, they implied before, like, a lot of these creatures are essentially feeding off each other. And there may be potentially that during the winter season, either they're not going out enough to destroy the monsters, or again, that the winter season has some sort of instability of mana that is feeding them more. I kind of wonder if it's the first one there, but I wouldn't probably know unless I have some extra context that may potentially be in the light novel. But it's sort of an interesting thing there. But yes, this Lord of Winters, which is a beast that shows up every single winter. And this one apparently is going to be a very formidable one. It's a Schneesturm. A Schneesturm. These creature names, dude. I love when Japan uses other languages in their stuff, and it's like, now I gotta learn another language, and I'm gonna completely butcher this one too. But yes, the Schneesturm, it's a tiger. They go to fight a tiger, a massive Siberian-looking tiger, and yeah, it seems like it took Ferdinand and Karst quite a bit more, and I don't know that Karst was with Ferdinand for the last one. That one was like insanely imbued with Myne's mana, and this one had like a crazy winter storm around it, and it had both Karst and Ferdinand both Excaliburing on at the same time. So that was pretty crazy, but yeah, I love I love how like they get there and they have this moment where they're like calling Bridget to go to the front lines, and then Daniel immediately comes down to replace her. Like it was like this moment of like letting her be. And they're like, no, let's send Daniel down there. Gotta send Daniel down there to keep her in check, because he might do something stupid. She's already like given everybody this big prayer of protection, and I had to give her, a potion back there. Now she's gonna do it again over here. Keep her from doing anything. But yeah, I like when Daniel gets there and he's like, yeah, he tells him not to do anything and to keep an eye on you. And at some point he leaves, and then Ferdinand comes over and is like, all right, we got it down. We've stuck it down. Now I need you to finish it off. Get onto my mount. She's like, wait, you want me to jump over there? 100% agree with this girl. I would not be able to jump that. Like, she's like in the side of this car cab, and she's supposed to jump like 6 feet. This girl can't jump 6 feet, dude. Just look at the little stubby legs. The little girl ain't gonna be able to jump 6 feet, dude. I was like furious at Ferdinand. I'm like, dude, really? You think that she's gonna be able to jump that? Like, even if she gets past her fears, I don't think she physically can do that. It's like, okay, just use this little wand to freaking pull her over there. And she's like, yeah. It was cute. It was cute. But yeah, they go over there and they strike down the foe and ended up getting the stone from it. Here's why I'm starting to kind of, question myself. It's implying that, yes, this was a really good stone. It was a very high quality. And again, I'm assuming this is going to be one of the materials for, again, specifically the winter materials for this whole project. And I'm kind of wondering if there is going to be a necessity for all of the different seasons, or if they're all the same stone. It's just in each season, there is a very high quality stone they can get from somewhere. I'm starting to kind of wonder if there's a necessity to even have to do all the seasons, or if they can get high quality enough from each season. They won't have to go the entire year, but it's probably a necessity of every season. So, because kind of that was what they implied initially, was one thing from each season. So, yeah, decently little animated little segment there. Again, not crazy quality, but like more than what you get from a typical show, and not using CGI. That's the biggest thing, is like, just don't use CGI. I'm just happy they don't use CGI. Anyways, this one cut up to the kids' playroom. This is technically where Wilfred is showing that improvement in karate. But yeah, we have Cornelius shows up and says, hey, Myne, you can learn letters from this, but can you learn the name of the gods? And she's like, yeah, technically you can learn the names of the gods. You can learn like their kin, their domains. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be learned from these cards, which is like, oh, well, that's what I'm literally going to be learning next year. So it opens up the big old can of worms that Myne now wants to sell all these materials at the royal palace to pretty much all the kids. And immediately Ben was like, no. We don't have all these resources, girl. We can't just keep making a whole bunch of stuff. We don't have the resources for that. Oh, let's just get some more attendees. Let's get more people to help out. Start recruiting some more people in the mix. Interesting thing here that they note is that Daniel says, I'm kind of concerned. That's great and everything. I'm concerned because there's still going to be some lesser nobles that won't be able to afford this stuff. That's crazy, because I thought they were kind of implying the idea of having some of this stuff at least be accessible to commoners. But I think she's mostly been kept to nobles. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've really gotten a sense of where exactly she's trying to sell a lot of this stuff. The mindset overall was the idea that wanting herself to get access to books, getting a better way of making them so that she has more of them, but also the idea of trying to get them to as many people as possible. So when they start talking about the fact that the materials they're creating, the books and these cards, are like so expensive that lesser nobles can't afford them, or some at least, that tells me they're still really expensive. And I can kind of assume that. And it's something that hopefully over time, as she gets the press and everything working better, the cost itself will come down further and further so that more people can have access to it. So that might be where they're kind of going with it. Again, that's the assumption because she's trying to get the improved methods. But yeah. And pointing out the fact that they would essentially have some that would feel cross at this. Like, yeah, there's going to be a gap there. And some will feel like they're out of the picture. Like, everybody in their class all have these books. And they all have these cards. And they're all doing incredibly better in school than they are. It's going to cause some problems. So, another thing that I'm surprised they haven't really brought up yet is Myne. She's creating a borrow system. But my thought process was immediately going to, is she going to make a library? Like, make her own library. Essentially a public library is what it is. There's libraries in this world. It's just they're under lock and key. They're in, very big mansions, higher nobles mansions. They're in the royal palace. They're in the cathedral, but they're not, open to the public. So I thought that she was actually going to make a public library, but it seems like it's only like a direct access borrowing system that she's creating. As we see with Fellini there, and she's off to the side with all the other lesser nobles, and she's like, yeah, sorry, we can't afford it. Hey, Myne, can't afford it. And yeah, Myne proposes not just a borrow system, but an exchange. She's not doing it for free, which is, again, even more so not to a public library kind of concept. Public library, you would typically have everybody has access to it, as long as you kind of present some sort of ID that you can attach to your account, and then take some sort of marking system that says this person has this one, and then they bring it back at a certain time, they pay for damages and whatnot. That would be a public library. Like, it doesn't cost you anything in most cases. With this one, it's a cost. There's a cost involved with it, which is you give me stories, I give you lendings, which is kind of, I have to admit, it's kind of nasty, let's be honest, because Myne, I thought originally what it was going to turn into is that she was going to give some sort of payment to this girl, Feline, for her stories. Because this girl's going to tell Myne stories that she hasn't heard before. She's going to put them into print, and she's going to, presumably, sell them and make a lot of money. I thought that she was then going to give some sort of, like, you know, royalties or something like that back to this girl of these stories that her mother told her. But no, it's like, you gave me 3 stories. I'm going to probably make some money off it. Here, borrow some books. Here, borrow these books. Don't damage them. I want them back. It feels a little nasty. So maybe there's something else she's going to be doing for her. We'll see. But again, technically these books are like very high value. So potentially this is a big deal she's doing. So I'm guessing with the other kids, the implied thing here is that they're going to have to hopefully tell her story to get a book. They're over like, crap, I don't know any of your stories. I don't want a book. What do I do? Feline, can we get a story from you so we can give it to her? Can you tell her some stories for us? I figured in the end Feline was going to join Myne's little group anyways. I guess it's good to have some sort of, not getting into an element of Myne having them owe her something, and that they join her group because they're either wanting to bring some sort of asset to Myne or some sort of bond or friendship. Not this idea of, well, now I owe Myne something, so now I'm going to have to follow her around. They follow her on their own volition, basically. Which I think most of them were going to do already because, again, her position. Like, no matter what, they're going to still follow her because of a reason. They want that position. They want to be at her side. But yeah, I love how that wraps up that scene, and the fact that she's like, handling with care, and the girl smiles. And you know that Myne's smiling because this girl gets access to books. She's like me. She wanted access to these books, and I was able to give her these books just that she can enjoy the wonders of books. I have a fellow bookworm right here, and I'm able to give her what she wants, like I always want. It was kind of cute. But yeah, that's where we cut over to our fail girl moment. Yes, Angelica has failed her classes at the Royal Academy, and she's gonna have to be relieved of her duties. Oh my gosh, I should have seen this coming. This girl, again, back there when they were in the playroom and they're asking everybody what their courses are, she's just like, I don't like studying. I want a swing sword. That's why I became a knight. I don't want to use brain. Big swing sword. But no, interesting here. The parents came there with her in disgrace, just basically saying she failed her classes. She can no longer be at your side. She has to be relieved of her duties. They're not saying we're taking Angelica away from you, because they can't really do that. They're saying, please, it's normal for you to want to get rid of her now, because having her at your side is a disgrace to you, Myne. We're sorry that we've done this to you. We apologize. Please don't look down on us too much. But yeah, Myne looks over to Ryard and says, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Ryard's like, do whatever you want. It's your choice. What do you want to do? Again, it makes sense here. For the sake of Myne and her family, she's going to want to discard this girl. Yes, in nobility, if somebody is going to be, not being able to keep up and is going to disgrace your family, you get rid of them. You discard them. But yes, for Myne herself, this is not something that she wants to do. This is what nobles do. This is not what me do. This is not what my family here has taught me. When I was literally a burden upon Eva, Gunther, Tootie, all of them, when I was a burden upon the people around me back when I first came to this world, they still helped me. They didn't discard me. They didn't get rid of me. Again, Myne, when she first got there, the body of Myne was this frail thing that could barely move. Like, she literally could barely move when she first got to this world. She would get a high fever and literally die every single time she took 2 steps. So her family took care of her. Her family seen her not as a disabled thing that should be discarded because it's going to be a hindrance on the family. Why feed this thing when it's not able to produce for this household? No, that's Myne. That's our child. Well, of course we're going to take care of it. So yeah, of course she's not going to discard Angelica. Even though we find out that Angelica is failing every single course. Even though we're failing every single course. Oh, I love that. She's like tilting her head at them and everything. It's like, gosh dang it, Angelica, stop being cute. Stop being cute. But yeah, Myne says, yep, we're not going to discard her. Team boost Angelica's grade squad or something like that. Oh, we're going to do it. Yay. Everybody, come on. I like how Myne's like, everybody's involved. You all cheer with me. You're all going to do this. Everybody gets roped into it. No, what was interesting here is that Myne offers a reward to Angelica. If you get your grades up, I will give you something. I'll reward you. What do you want? Oh, I want your mana. I want you to imbue my sword with mana. And apparently her sword is a mana blade that grows with mana. And that's why she desires mana from others. Odd that they all kind of knew this was the case, that Angelica had this blade. I'm curious if this is a rare thing. Is it like some sort of weapon that is magical that just grows infinitely every single time mana is given to it? Does it evolve or something like that? It's probably going to be one of those things where it's like sort of a storing battery, and that potentially gets stronger and stronger, and there's some way of unleashing it. But it could be an element that it gets stronger, it gets sharper, it gets like it does more damage, it does more impact the more mana it gets. Kind of curious if the light novel has a little bit more information about this mana blade in it. So it makes sense to me that she probably has this as sort of maybe something that was given to her by her family, a family heirloom or something like that, and that she knows the potential of it. And being that she is somebody that wants to protect others and be strong, this is her way of doing that. And so, of course, when that is brought up, sure, give me your mana. I want to make this thing stronger so that I can be more powerful, kind of thing. Interesting. I'm guessing that's going to be one of those things where sometime down the road, she's going to have to wield that sword and it's going to be super overpowered or something. Anyways, I think that's pretty much the episode. We did get a new OP and ED. The OP was very beautiful, at least the first half. I'm not like a big fan of the second half of it. It sounds very generic OP type of stuff. Like, yes, let's go have fun. Yay, off into adventures, like kind of OP. But the first part of it is very, very beautiful. Great visuals. I didn't take the moment to sit down and actually look for any AI backgrounds. I'm going to assume that they're not going to let it slide this time. That they double check it this time. Make sure there's no AI backgrounds or anything like that. But yeah, the first part was very beautiful. The ED was very, very beautiful. I really, really like the ED. Not like usual with the EDs, no like animation, just a lot of stills, but very beautiful song. Very, very beautiful song. I really liked it. So good stuff. Oh yeah, the aftercast. I forgot the aftercast. It was a little segment where they were talking about the recipes that Myne comes up with and how good they are, and how Myne wants to make a recipe book to sell. She immediately goes into money-making mode. Sylvester's like, did she learn that from you too, Ferdinand? Ferdinand's like, no, that's Benno. That's totally Benno. He's teaching her how to be like a true merchant. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. Until next time, y'all take care.